What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Espresso, and welcome back to another Black Ops 3 video here today on the channel. Within this one today, we're going to be talking about Blackjack, the supposed 10th specialist here, when we can maybe see him, and where we can maybe see him in more specifics. So, with that being said, the 10th specialist rumor has been going around for quite some time now, a couple of months, and it's something that really, in game code, there is a 10th specialist there. There's stuff that really has hardcore, solid evidence that a 10th specialist was in game. Whether or not it's intended to be actually released as DLC, that's something that we don't know just yet, but it's a heavy theory that it will be. So with that being said, we don't know exactly maybe when we can see it. It's probably going to be coming up here, maybe right after DLC 2, if at all, because they want to keep the game fresh a little bit here, going into the second half of the game's lifespan, and that would make perfect sense, I think, to release a brand new specialist, maybe even more within this as a DLC here. Whether or not you buy it separately, that's a whole different argument in itself. But really, where can we see these then? If it is something that we don't know if we can buy them separately, well, the working theory right now, and a lot of people don't like to hear this, is that it's going to be supply drops only. Now, we talked about this a little bit whenever we saw an air-quoted leak here of the image from the specialist being in supply drops. We debunked that as fake. It was a current matched image to an avatar for a forum data bank of default profile images, but that idea is something that is still around here and something that, well, it could be possible to see. We know that Activision absolutely loves the supply drop system, and from a marketing standpoint, honestly, it's a brilliant way to get extra revenue from your game. It's something that the business model has now been around for quite some time with, say, in-app purchases or something like that. It's very similar to that. It's just microtransaction DLC with the minigame of playing the RNG and maybe getting something that you like, but no guarantee. That's something that's been on the heavy incline within the Call of Duty franchise, and well, even with everybody's outbreaks recently about how much they dislike supply drops, it's quite possible we could see the 10th specialist coming in here. And why is that really? Well, let's take a look at some of the recent events, or rather one that just stands out in particular tremendously here, that being the double crypto key weekend that we just had. The big theory is that this now sets up for the next specialist to come in supply drops. They want everybody to have it, so why not give you guys a weekend to grind out all of this and then get as many crypto keys as you can possibly get. And once those are done, well, you know you're gonna still try and get it, so you'll probably buy COD points. It's a little sly marketing tactic, but it's something that would eventually end up working out here, especially with a brand new specialist, something that big in the game. That's something that is head and shoulders above what a weapon would be in supply drops, and something that I don't necessarily agree with, but it would be a smart move to do. Now, we can also counter this argument saying that, well, the double crypto key weekend hasn't been around for 2 months now, and it was actually right before the last DLC drop that we saw our last one here, so it makes sense periodically to have a double crypto key weekend every so often and to please the fans a little bit here. That obviously is something that, you know, drives into the marketing and the added revenue that Activision gets from the game, so having that a little bit more sectionalized and waiting a little bit longer than, say, a double XP weekend actually also makes sense from a business standpoint. But that theory is still swirling around that the 10th specialist will be in supply drops only. But also, if you absolutely hate this idea, well, don't fret just yet, because the person that supposedly leaked all this kind of stuff, the future of supply drops, they said that it is still a possibility that they're trying to sell it separately as its own microtransaction DLC, not just something that you can buy in supply drops, but rather buy maybe for, say, like $3 to $4 on its own. But I guess we'll see how that turns out. I'm not necessarily sure how this will go out here. I'd love to hear your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. A lot of the stuff that we've talked about here recently with, say, the leaks in the supply drop system from that guy over on Reddit, he's mentioned that it could go either way, so I think it's really all for time to tell, but it's something that I really want to discuss here for you guys. Would you guys be super upset if this was something only in supply drops, or how would you take this? I don't even know how else to spin this. I would love to hear your thoughts, though, down there in the comment section down below. That's where we're gonna wrap this video up here today, ladies and gentlemen. Just a quick little discussion on this. It's something that I wanted to talk about and get it out of the way here, because I didn't get to it as quickly as I wanted to, but nonetheless, here it is. So hopefully you guys did enjoy. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section down below. Once again, leave your thoughts. But if you guys did like this video, be sure to like, rating down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We're on the road to 30,000 subscribers, so every little bit does help, and is, as always, greatly appreciated. But my name has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.